They just start cheating. They just have Molly. She just goes around, starts absolutely trucking these other kids. Like, while they're running at Molly, they get absolutely destroyed. It's like, if you're just running and you don't see anything, you don't have any time to brace. Like, when you see other people coming, you can brace a little bit. But it's like, she just runs up and she bodies them, and they don't have time to she's gonna break somebody's neck. Hello everyone, I'm Manic, and I'm invisible. I can see by your face how you just don't believe me. So if I wasn't invisible, then how can I pick up these tarot cards? And how can I pick up this guitar? And how can I pick up this hand if I wasn't invisible? And finally, how could I close this door without any of you seeing me? Okay. See, okay, now that you 100% know I can turn invisible, I'm gonna turn it off, and like, I'm not gonna do it for the rest of the video, but yeah, I can turn invisible. Y'all see what I do for you? Like, I show you that I have these powers, and now, like, the government's gonna come after me. It's like, like, comment, and subscribe if you don't want the government to catch me. But anyways, I just watched Invisible Sister. It's a Disney movie. It's it's pure nonsense. They just the directors didn't care. It's like when I was watching House, you could tell maybe the directors were like trying something different, but for Invisible Sister, pure nonsense. They don't care. They said, sit your kids in front of the screen and let them watch this movie. Who needs plot when you got invisibility or something? But anyways, I'll just go straight into the notes. It's because I have a ridiculous amount. Usually when I do these reviews, it's like it'll take up like half a page, maybe 1 page. I have almost 2 pages full of notes for this movie of just them not caring. I'll just get into it. But my first note. So we start off. We have Cleo. She's talking to the teacher because she does her little monologue about like, nobody sees me, but they all see my sister, and all that nonsense and all that. But then, but she gets like crazy good grades, gets A's on everything. But then her teacher, he comes up to her because she was gonna do like an easier science project. She was gonna turn a pomegranate, some type of fruit into a battery or something. And he was like, oh, everybody does that, but since you're so good, I want you to do a different project. And for this,
this is worth half your class.
If you don't do well in this, you're probably gonna fail my class. It's like, I know you're trying to push her to be better, but it's like, did I just catch you doing well in my class? Like, I can't have that. Like, let me give you a hard assignment. But it's like, Cleo has to turn this goop, which is sugar, into like its crystal state by making a homemade spectrometer. Like, she's a high school student, by the way. And like, I don't even know what a spectrometer is. Like, in the movie, they like, I don't even know what that thing. Well, I guess it was a spectrometer, but let me look it up just to make sure. I'll let y'all see too. A scientific instrument used to separate and measure spectral components. And he told her to build one at home. $200, 100. Because he didn't give her one, and all the. What in the world? Yeah, just a smooth 7,000, a smooth 520. Your parents got that right. Cause she had I think like this or where was it? Like this. So it's like $100 at least for off eBay, or she just had it at home or something. Like, I don't. Like what? I don't know what this guy is on. Like, there's pushing somebody to succeed, and then there's trying to get them to fail. Like, this teacher is somebody else. This teacher is something different, right? And for my next note, it's like this. This is like the worst roast and comeback I've ever heard. Like,
nice vampire outfit, freak show, but Halloween's not till tomorrow.
Really? Vampire outfit? Is that all you got? Is it because of my cape and my pointy teeth?
Like, they didn't even try. It's like, dude said like, you look like a vampire, and she was like, no, I not. Like, it's like, well, like, what was? Why'd y'all even put that in the movie if you're not even gonna try with those lines? You could have said that purple streak in your hair is so dumb. It's like, or, and then she could have said, oh, you're a blockhead. Okay, that's not much better, but I feel like it's better than what they said. So hire me as the director. Like, Cleo, she's super like self-conscious and all that, because she had that little monologue of like, nobody sees me, and like, I can't be with, nobody's gonna like me. Nobody likes me. I'm just a shy loser, and all that stuff. And then Sea Dog, like the Sea Dog, comes up and like invites her for a study session, and she's like, no, like, he's just trying to cheat off my test. It's like, come on, you can't, like, it's Sea Dog, you cannot reject him. It's like, not only like, did she not know that he was like I guess she didn't know he was the science scholar, Olympian, whatever they said, like, or whatever. But yeah, I guess she didn't know that, and like trying to make excuses for him to not hang out with him and all that stuff. Also, my next note, I also wrote George plays Ravi and Jesse, so that's cool. I just thought it was weird seeing him in a not Jesse setting, but I just thought you should know that. You probably saw it. Okay. In my next note, it's I noticed this while watching this movie, because I haven't watched any Disney movies or like more like what would I call it, like I guess teen movies or so. Like, I haven't watched these in so long, so it's so weird going back to these and then seeing like the high school setting, and they're like, let's all go out for ice cream. We can go get caramel, and it's like,
School's done. You know what that means. Fro-yo, YOLO, oh no, let's go, yeah? You wanna come
it's
with?
like, in the more like adult shows, they'd be like, oh, let's go out and drink. Let's all go to Jake's house. He's gonna teach us how to drink and drive. It's like, it's so weird how it's like a different world. It's so weird coming back to this. It's like, yeah, it's just extra weird. So my next note, so Cleo goes back home, and then even her parents, like, they know nothing about her. It's like, I know they try to pull this like invisible thing, but like, your parents should know you do something else other than study, because they were like, oh, you go get that study session. It's like, does she not do anything else? Like, nothing else? Y'all gotta know she likes something other than that. Actually, what else does she even like in this movie? Did she even mention anything else that she likes in the movie? Actually, I don't know if she even has any other hobbies. I don't think she does. I don't think. Yeah, no. I don't think she does any reading. No. I don't actually. No, I think maybe the parents aren't so bad. I don't think in this whole movie they mentioned her doing anything outside of going to school and being smart and studying at home. So I guess maybe they do know her. Maybe maybe the parents know her better than I think. Like, like I'm pretty sure they don't say anything else. But yeah, they're like, oh, you go get that study session, and then they drive off and go to like, where they go, like New York or something. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter because that was like the only part they were in the entire movie. They were in like they were on the screen for like a minute, and then near the end of the movie they were also on the screen for another minute. So that's like 2 full minutes with their parents. Okay, and then my next note, this is where we start getting into like Disney movie crazy, all that stuff. It's like, so the teacher, the science teacher, he in the bottle is sugar. Like I already mentioned that though, but it's sugar in a bottle. But then she has a bunch of other chemicals, like of whatever, like different colored chemicals. They never say what it is or anything. I think once in the movie they said like one of them was at least salt, or they said sodium, but like salt. So yeah, so whatever that was on the little counter and everything was used to turn that moth invisible. So if anybody wants to make an invisibility potion, just know that it contains at least salt and sugar. Salt, sugar, and then whatever random chemicals that how old is she, like 15-year-old girl can get her hands on, or like be laying around in the house or so. So that's if anybody wants to make a homemade invisibility potion, like, yeah, it should be pretty easy, unless her parents like work at Star Labs or something. It's like what else could be in that? What else could she have put on her table that she just had in her house to make an invisibility potion? Like it she just had it. You were just in her house. And then my next note, Cleo has to be like she got like I don't know, what's it called? Maybe she got binoculars built in her eyes. I don't know. Maybe she's part cyborg. Maybe she knows. Maybe that's how she knows how to make that invisibility potion, or I don't know. Like she tracked that moth, that invisible moth, or it has like predator cloaking. Like you can see it if you look hard enough. But she tracked that all from in the garage where she was doing her experiment, all through the house, the backyard of the party, through the house, and then like out to the front yard. She tracked it. She did not lose track of it. Oh, she lost it for a second, then she like start glimmering the sunset or some nonsense. And like she was on that thing. She's got eagle eyes or something. Like she was a tracker in the previous life. She was a sniper. She was something. There's no way she was keeping a track of that. She was on it. She was absolutely on it. And in my next note, so when we I saw it like on a table. It was like the ginger fizz, but I thought it said like ginger riz on it, and I was gonna be like they're so ahead of the times, they have like riz, but that thing it was. And then we see like the moth. So after the Cleo tries to chase the moth, it flies away off into the night, off towards the moon, super bright and everything, to the street with like all these lamps and everything. So later on in the day, like after the party and everything, we see Molly. She's about to drink her like nighttime ginger fizz. Like she just nighttime ginger fizz, I guess, to not be nervous or whatever she was talking about in the movie. Then the moth it came back in. They had an open window, and the moth decided, with all the bright lights and everything, let me come back into this bathroom. Not only come into the bathroom, hit that one lamp, and then fall right into her glass, and then she drinks it. It's like, of course, like, there's no chance that would actually happen. Like why would it ever come back in the first place? But what makes even less sense is that how is the moth is just the moth, like, what makes even less sense is like, all the, the steam and everything, like whatever made the moth invisible, it was so potent that after she drank the moth accidentally, it made her invisible. Like, it, from that tiny little moth, whatever little bit was on there, she's fully invisible. Not only is she fully invisible, her clothes start turning invisible. Anything she touches start turning invisible. Like, Cleo made a virus. She made an invisibility virus. She, like, it and then it lasts. They say later in the movie, it lasts for 24 hours, or at least they thought it was gonna last for 24 hours, but it lasts forever. It'll take over your body and make you invisible forever just by consuming that tiny little moth. She drank that tiny moth, and she almost got invisibilized, like invisible forever. She would have been done in 24 hours. Like, she would have been. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then what I would think after turning invisible and everything, people can't see me, can't be seen in mirrors. You know what I would think? Oh, today's gonna be the first lacrosse game. I still got to go to school. It's like what is Molly talking about? What are you talking about? You still got to go to school. You're invisible. You can't be seen. And it's like just say you're sick. Even in the movie, they're talking about like who called in sick? Cleo called in sick because she's pretending to be Molly. So, and everybody was like okay with it. She didn't have to go to the lacrosse game, but like, it's one day. You get sick. People get sick. They're not gonna blame you for getting sick. But she said, oh my goodness, yeah. Like, and then instead of calling in sick, she decides like, oh, you know a better plan. Since it's Cleo, you go as me. Like, nobody's gonna notice because we look so identical. We might as well be twins. She doesn't say that because they look nothing alike. They look like two completely different people. So anybody who's seen Molly before will know that that's not Molly. And anybody who's seen Cleo would know like that's Cleo. Like, she. Like, this is what they did. They're like, can you tell it's me, guy? It's me. It's Molly. Don't I look just like her? like that was the plan. Like, the crazy part about that is that it worked too. Like, that how did it work? How did that work? They don't look alike. They're not twins. Like, even if they were twins, they wouldn't need to do the mask and everything. Is that Manny, get out. Get out. We hate you. Get out of here. Get out. Oh, guy always coming in here. Hold up. Who's that guy? Hey. Man, look at that hat. Oh man, this guy seems cool. Yeah, hey, come sit down. Come sit down. And then we see her like driving to school, or actually she doesn't. Cleo doesn't drive to school. Molly still drives to school while invisible. And it's like they had like the roof down. It's like, at least put the roof up. Like, that's not gonna make too much of a difference. Seeing like no one driving. She's just sitting in the passenger seat. But it's something more. It's like, why did it's so, there was such a simple solution, and they decide like half of the movie shouldn't have even happened. Like, half the movie is them or is Cleo pretending to be Molly? It's like going to school and doing the lacrosse game, which, you know, I'll talk about the lacrosse game after that was, but yeah. So, you know, let me get into like the school portion and all that. So of course she has the mask on. It's like, why? Of course, you know that. See, they somehow don't notice it's Molly. It's like you could have at least done a different character or something, or just put on a helmet, you know, like something where you can't see your face, and then make up some reason why you can't talk. Maybe. But it's like Molly's friends and like everybody else in the school, like there's no way they care about her. Either that or like there's something in the water, because like not only do they not, her face don't look different, like their head shape is different. It's like and nobody even gets like suspicious. Like none of her friends even get suspicious of her not being Molly, because it's like none of them ask.
Molly? Yes? Oh, Mom, I'm so glad you're here. I thought you were sick.
Like none of them ask any question that only Molly would know. Like, do you remember what we did yesterday? Or, you know, just something that I don't. It's like they're so lucky. This is like the perfect crew to be like in a horror movie. You know, a movie with like skinwalkers, they would be so cooked. They would be absolutely gone. If they can't even tell that somebody's different because they put on those little masquerade masks, and they couldn't tell. They couldn't tell. It's a completely different person. The mask and the voice being different. Dude, somebody looking identical. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. Like, absolutely gone. And then my next note. We see Molly's friend. I don't remember her name. It doesn't matter. But she starts talking about like I really like how I don't like how the weather, the news always telling us the weather. It's like, I hate how I want it to be a surprise and everything. Like, I want to just go outside and know, and that's how I figure out the weather. And it's like don't watch, don't look at the weather then. It's like there's something in the water. There has to be something in the water. Like these characters are, you know, wild Disney characters and everything, but my goodness. And then my next note, we see Molly. She's all invisible and everything, but she's in the middle of a classroom because she wants to get the microscope so that she can see her cells and everything in the and try to get her blood thing solved and all that. So what she decides to do is, like, in the middle of the classroom, you know, where everybody's just around, she slowly takes it out of the drawer or the little cabinet and like slowly moves it towards the door, and then she just picks it up and then sprints out the front door, and absolutely nobody sees her. I know they try to make it look like, oh, everybody's looking down, nobody notices. It's like they don't hear her stomping around. It's like she full on sprints. They don't hear the footsteps and see like a floating microscope, and then she runs around the corner and like into the main hallway, and then like nobody's like in the hallway to see like the floating microscope. Well, I guess everybody's in class, but the security guard somehow doesn't see her, or he does see her go around the corner, or the microscope go around the corner, and he's just like, well, that's weird. And like, oh, you know, the one thing that the movie actually does get right is what the men's bathroom looks like. You know, they had all the wet paper towels in the bathroom because you know, that's what it looks like usually. Like when you go to the men's bathroom, you know, the wet paper towels, the water puddles and everything. Like the only thing they missed was like the arm wrestling matches, the fights, and then the guys that are like tattooing each other in the corner. But that was actually pretty accurate, though. And then finally, the only character to ever figure out that Molly's invisible, or that Molly's invisible, that Cleo is pretending to be Molly, or well, I guess he doesn't actually figure it out. They kind of have to tell him. It's like nobody else sees anything. George, by the way, so George is like the only one to kind of like get suspicious and everything, because Molly puts on the little bear costume and everything to talk to Sea Dog, to try to give Cleo get him and Cleo together. And then George is like the only one that knows that she's acting different. Like, he knows how she is, and she doesn't like costumes. You don't like costumes. What else? Yeah, you're not was it outgoing or anything? And then dude just like, she just insults his pants and is like, it's Cleo. It's like you. But like, it's crazy how that's like that's the furthest it goes whenever anybody is actually figuring out that it's somebody different. All right, and then we finally get to the lacrosse section of the movie, and then we see that Molly. She starts talking about like, she's like or it's Cleo. So actually, before the lacrosse section, Cleo is like, okay, let's go home so that we can get you all saved and everything, so that you're not invisible anymore, But Molly is like, no. You gotta play lacrosse for me. My sister, who's never played lacrosse before, you gotta play for me for this very important game where all these coaches and everything are gonna see me, and they're gonna think that you're me, and you're gonna do absolutely awful because you've never played this game before. Like, it's better to have you come in and do horrible than me to call out sick. It's like what kind of plan is that? How does that make any sense? It's like you're just gonna come in and make yourself look bad.
What? You think this is easy for me? I'm terrified every game. I can hardly sleep the night before. I have to drink. Like,
I'm not gonna be listening to this speech when it doesn't even make any sense why you're doing this. Talking about sometimes I get scared. Okay, but you signed up to be in lacrosse. You know what you're doing. Why are you putting? And then they still want to keep that little mask on. Like, it's not even a mask anymore. It's like 4 little plastic bars which you can see through. Everybody, how can you not tell that it's Cleo yet? How can you not tell that it's Cleo pretending to be Molly? Because they might as well not even have the mask on, because she could probably just walk around and be like, hey, it's me, Molly, with no mask on, and they'd be like, oh, Molly, your hair's different. Like, they're not gonna notice. They are absolutely not gonna notice. And then we see her. She starts playing lacrosse, and she starts doing absolutely horrible because she's never played lacrosse before. And then she gets hit by the ball. I'm not sure what the ball is made out of, but actually, let me see. Whoop. Okay, they say a lacrosse ball is usually made of solid vulcanized rubber, but can also be made from. It's rubber. It's a rubber ball, and she somehow gets absolutely demolished by it. She takes it straight to the head. She gets domed by that ball, and it's like she gets clotheslined by. She gets the nastiest clothesline from JBL. Like, she does. Oh. She's about does a flip. Like, it's by rubber. And then, the crazy part about that, you would think like it's a Disney movie, so there'd be like oh, so now this means that I gotta buckle down. I gotta really put the moves on. Like I gotta, you gotta lock in. But they just start cheating. They just start cheating. They just have Molly. She just goes around, starts absolutely trucking these other kids. Like while they're running at Molly, they get absolutely destroyed. It's like if you're just running and you don't see anything, you don't have any time to brace. Like when you see other people coming, you can brace a little bit. But it's like she just runs up and she bodies them, and they don't have time to. She's gonna break somebody's neck. She's gonna absolutely kill somebody, and it's like, and we see how like three people, like this scene, we see three people getting absolutely demolished, and one of them does a backflip in the middle of the field. And then the crazy part is like, the people getting tackled, they don't say anything. They're not like, what happened? It's like somebody tackled me. They don't call foul. The refs don't say anything. The entire crowd of like 50 or something people don't say anything. The other team doesn't say anything. It's like nobody even notices that they're getting. Actually, no, they do notice. They think that they're slipping. Like on what in October, it said it was on Halloween day. Maybe some ice formed on it. What? I don't even know, dude. You know what's even worse than them cheating, having an extra invisible team member? The away team is still tied with them with the last 3 minutes. They were both at 7-7 with an extra player cheating on the Owls team. They're still about to lose. They're still like either the Owls or hot garbage, or the away team are absolute demons, because I don't know how they're able to be tied with an extra invisible person cheating on their team or on the other team. It's like, oh my goodness. And then they want to do like they have Cleo in the end. She's all alone. They don't have what's her name, Molly, helping her out because she's too far back. So they have this running scene. She's like, and then everybody's like, she actually gets it in. Everybody's cheering, and it's like, why would I ever cheer for them? They cheated and barely won. That's not that's not inspirational. They're playing all this music like one, and it's not inspirational. Like, that's sad. I'm not gonna cheer for them. That was ridiculous. Then after all of that, just time being wasted going to school and going to that lacrosse game because Molly just could not miss school today, and that plan somehow working with putting on that mask and like becoming a different person. But they finally get home, and then they actually start studying the effects of the invisibility what is it called, fumes that Cleo made. Then they find out that she has the 24 hours before she turns invisible forever. So instead of skipping school and then having like pretty much the full day, about 17 hours to like to keep her from being invisible, change her back, now they only have 6 hours until like she's gonna be invisible forever. So really lucky that she went to school on that day, like that they pretended to go to school or pretended to be Molly, because that was really helpful for them. So not only do they need to like recreate her potion that she made from this chemical, her chemical X and all that stuff, but they also have to make the antidote for the potion within 6 hours. And they also have to catch a moth as well. So you have to do all that in 6 hours. And so they go to like a cemetery to go and find a moth, and then you would think that instead they would go to like some old lamppost, because I'm sure y'all seen like lamps and everything. There'd be like 15,000 moths all flying around it and everything. But they went to a cemetery to find a moth or anything, and then it's like, why would you go to a cemetery? Like, why don't you walk around like some dark alley, some like with a lamppost, like find some old lamp. But then of course they somehow find the moth. Like her sister Molly, she also has eagle eyes, so I guess it runs in the family or something. Like the one moth in the cemetery, it's like on the top of the statue, and she somehow sees it, so they ended up finding the moth, I guess. But then shenanigans happen. The moth goes up a tree. Molly tries to climb up, slips off, falls into like the mud lake or whatever, like a muddy puddle. And then she wants to start blaming Cleo. She wants to be like, oh, you're the worst. Now I'm gonna be invisible forever. It's like, maybe if you didn't go to school, maybe if you just called in sick, y'all would have been absolutely fine. Y'all did all that in 6 hours. If y'all had 17 hours, y'all would have been absolutely fine. Like, oh my goodness. And she wants to try to blame Cleo as if it's her fault, like, at all. Like, and then I realized, like, when I was watching this, like, in the back half of the movie, they just stopped using Molly's car for whatever reason. Once they get into a time crunch, they all of a sudden like, oh, let's instead like let's run to the cemetery and then take the trolley to go to the school. It's like what happened to the car? Would they forget it at school or something? Like, I don't know. It's like it just disappeared. Maybe she turned the car invisible and they lost it. I don't know. But yeah, they just stopped using it for whatever reason. And then my next note, oh, this poor security guard. Like, so they have to get into the school to make the antidote and like in the invisibility potion, because they they don't have any more of the chemicals or anything, because it all broke and fell down when she was going wild in her garage. So Molly sneaks in because she's invisible. The security guard opens the door. She walks in. It's instead of just like letting them know like, oh, I'm gonna open the door like in the back, like the gym door or something, and we can sneak in. She instead decides to do some elaborate traps, pouring paint that spells boo, like bouncing a basketball all down the stairs. And like she ends up scarring the guy because when she could have just opened the back door. Like, that poor guy, he guaranteed thinks like ghosts are real, and he's like he's being haunted by one. Like, if he ever had any doubts, he yeah, poor guy. And another weird part about that is like that no way is that like a public school, because why do they even have a security guard? That has to be like a private school, because like they're not gonna have a nighttime security guard for a public school. Like, that building's empty. Like, nobody's like what is he guarding it from? Like, somebody's gonna take something out of somebody's locker. Like, what is he even protecting? I don't even know. Why is he there? Yeah, they get into the lab. They end up making the potion, but then they're not able to figure out the antidote, because it's like it's some organic chemistry stuff. But because it's really hard to. They can figure out how to make invisibility potions, but to reverse it, like no, that's hard. Like, that's difficult. We can't do that. we can make invisibility potions easy. Like, that's child's play. Like, they do that over in the elementary, but making them visible again. Yeah, we gonna have to call in Sea Dog for that. Like, we can't figure that one out. And then So Sea Dog's over at the party. So they ended up going to the party to ask him for help and everything. And then, you know, the crazy part about that is they knew they were going to need to make the antidote because, you know, they went over there to go get Sea Dog to make the antidote. And then they brought absolutely nothing to make the antidote with. Like, they get there and they're like, oh, all of our stuff's still at the lab. It's like, that's the main thing you need. That's the main thing you need. Why would you leave what you need to make the antidote? Like, what do you think he's going to... They end up having to like MacGyver everything. Like, what do you think? You're just gonna like she's visible now. It's like I don't. Oh my goodness. So yeah, they ended up making the antidote like just in time and all that stuff. They get everything solved, and then the principal, or not the principal, the science teacher, he wants to be like you want to since you did so well in my class, you made somebody invisible, you want to join the Association of Scientists, like and report your findings. It's like, I feel like a little more people than the Association of Scientists are going to want to know that not only did Cleo make an invisibility potion, actually she made it twice, the invisibility potion. She knows exactly how to make it now. Not only she made that potion, not only is the potion extremely dangerous and like contagious to other things, and you know, could make somebody invisible for life. Yeah, like it's all those things, and you know, she's just gonna report her findings at some like association. Like, the government is gonna be after her. They're gonna want to know how she made some invisibility potion, and they're gonna want the recipes. Like she somehow made it with the chemicals available to students in high school. Like, whatever they have in a high school, like she made it with in whatever she had at home. It's like, okay, so that's about it for my notes. Like, oh my goodness, this was one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen, and I would definitely recommend it. If you ever want to just to see some straight nonsense, like, go ahead and watch the movie. Like, for my rating, I'll give it like I give it a 6 out of 10. Like, it's not bad, but you know, it's like, it's a Disney movie that they weren't worried about the story. They had it on the wall, like invisible girl, smart sister that feels invisible, and then another sister that super popular. Let's just start production. We'll get it. We'll work it out while we're going. Like, let's just get this movie done. Let's get it done. It's like, you know, the crazy part is, like, this movie was only like an hour and 20 minutes long. Like, usually other movies, like, this is a little short for actually it's around the same length as other movies, but oh my goodness. But yeah, that's about it for me. But you know, I guess since this is the end of the video, I guess I'll show y'all one last time that yes, I can turn invisible. So bye bye, bye 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 bye.